Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Science Technology. In today's show, Computer Wednesday, we're going to talk about skyrocketing PC hardware prices. And I mean, everything is on fire. So let's dive deep into it. So why did it started? Well, it started, the first ember of this was on 30 November 2022. The world changed. The Fire Nation attacked. So basically ChatGPT was announced to public. Now let that be very clear. Before this, the whole thing of LLM and neural networks and all the AI models, they were real things, but they were lab grade kind of thing. Like there were 10,000 research paper and all that jazz. But common public were like, okay, AI is something that might happen. It was not something that you and I can use, but it happened. Basically on 30 November 2022, ChatGPT was announced, and it went hard. To give you a context, Facebook took give or take 100, basically to achieve 100 million users 4 years. Now you might say, okay, that is long ago, as in like year 2004, not enough people had computer. To give you a context, TikTok, which is a very recent thing, like as in started when everybody had smartphone, it still took 9 months. And compare that to ChatGPT. ChatGPT is like, I got this in 2 months. That is shocking for something that is not an entertainment. So that is very horrifyingly big deal. And here's the deal. World realize AI is real. Now let that be go, oh, it's not true AI, oh, it's not this, and all of them is just BS. It is here, it's real. Now again, you can have a proper discussion how competent it is. But again, the fact that we are having that discussion proves the point. It reached that point. Like it crossed the threshold. It's not just chatbot. It crossed the threshold. It's not very good. It may not be very competent, but it is AI. Not very useful, but AI. So AI, that barrier has been crossed, where it's like just algorithms. No, it has something more. Basically, some of the parts are greater than the whole. So that happened. Again, let that be clear. Competency is still very low, but it did happen. So that's why people are not getting like, why it's such a big deal. Oh, it's just a pattern recognition. This is just pattern recognition. We literally copy pasted this neural network into the silicon to the best of our ability. So it became a real thing, and it triggered a global race, meaning every Tom, Dick and Harry started pouring money into it on a national level. Without there is no, and again, everybody realized very early on, this will be the next big thing. Now again, it could raise humanity or it could destroy humanity. I do not know, but it will be a big thing. That part is sorted. Like it is the big thing. For example, like back in the early days when humanity figured out plastic, people were like, yo, plastic will be a big thing. Yeah, it is a big thing now. So same thing is here. Like it will be a big thing. And money started to free flow into it. Like the amount of billions people poured into this for something that does not have proven case. Like people are like, oh, energy sector is huge. Yeah, because it works. Like, if you build a giant wind farm, it will give you electricity. If you build a giant solar farm, it will give you electricity. What do you know about AI systems? I burned like, let's say $100 billion on this. What will you get out of it? So this is horrifyingly huge. So it affected everything. So right now we are in 2026, basically 4 years into AI, which is like actually scary to me that it's only 4 years. Like I've seen all the debate on this. It's like AI used to be like, now it's like, oh no, it's not real AI. It's not sentient. It's like, bro, the train has left the station. Like it's comparing like first wireless telecommunication versus 5G mobile phone. First wireless was the biggest jump. Like, can you actually transmit signal from here to there without wires? That was the big deal. Once that happened, it's just a matter of time. And this is much much more tight, much more quick. So what does it mean for us? You and I, most public at this point in time, can't afford decent PC anymore, like flat out. And I mean not only in terms of cost, but availability. Like you must have paid attention to it. Like there are not that many new hardware being announced anymore. Like other than PC fans, it's like you're not getting RAM launches, GPU launches and all that. It's like, it's almost like shh, shh, no new SSD, no price drop, nothing. It's almost like it's flat out. If you directly try to, at this point in time, try to buy things that are manufactured in 2026, good luck. Its availability is literally extinct, factually speaking, so to say. So good luck trying to buy anything. Now again, let that be very clear. It's not that nobody is manufacturing anything. It's just that it's rare. Like instead of manufacturing 100 million units, they are only manufacturing 10 million, and now their market has a deficit of 90 million. So it's a very brutal at this point in time, availability wise. And price has also went kaboom from 2022 to 2025, basically pre ChatGPT era, after ChatGPT era. And the creep, basically the price creep is absolute, meaning we are talking about where we are lucky it's only 30% price hike on top of inflation, versus sometimes some things went like 2x, 3x, 5x. It is brutal, and it has affected almost everything of importance: RAM, GPU, hard drive, NAND flash. What is left? Oh, I can buy motherboard, I just can't put RAM into it. So this is brutal, like genuinely brutal. Now, what's the reason behind it? Well, reason is the money. Money is too unholy amount of money. Like Nvidia cannot be worth $4.5 trillion. Like, yes, there are company that is running on hype only, like Tesla. Like Tesla does not sell enough cars to justify $1.4 trillion. It's just that Elon Musk cult personality, people holding on to it, and like, hype. But again, it's not real. This is genuinely not real. Like, what are you doing? Like, are you curing cancer or selling air? Other than that, there is nothing that justifies that value for long-term stability. Or you crash the whole economy, inflation makes this number like my pocket money. So that's the whole reality. The money that is being thrown around is flat out bonkers, like horrifyingly bonkers. And what does it create? It creates a scenario where manufacturing has to make a decision. Before this, it was like, we were manufacturing this and we are manufacturing, we have portfolio of manufacturings. Right now, it's like, yeah, throw away everything, only manufacture for AI. So that created a scenario for more and more foundries, fabs. They are making a decision where it's like, hey, instead of having production capacity, let's say they have 4 production line, and let's say 3 was open market and 1 was for AI. They are like, hey, what if we invert it? Have 1 for market, so we have some competency remaining, but convert everything else into AI specific product. That's brutal. That's why like genuine shortage in 2026. And let that be clear. Why is that? Economics. For example, Nvidia can take the same silicon, like go to the TSMC is like, bro, silicon disk, that silicon wafer. Here's deal. Wafer has a fixed cost, let's say X. Here's deal. How many X it will become if you sell it with RTX 590? Okay, take whatever number you want. Like, okay, let's say it's 5X, right? Wafer cost is X. It becomes 5X when you put it into RTX 5090, which is again a very high margin product. Here's the deal. That margin is nothing the moment you put it into A100 or H100 or B100, those sort of series, basically AI compute card. Yeah, that margin is 35 or even higher than that. So that created a scenario where every raw ingredients, company can no longer justify bringing this ingredient into open market. It's like, it's wasteful, or technically speaking illegal, because again, companies are beholden to shareholders rather than like, logical or long-term survivability or anything of logic. But it is what it is. So fundamentally, that created a scenario where all manufacturers slowly, that's why it took time. But again, look into the larger picture. It's like, it's not that long. 2022 was not that long ago. It's after pandemic. Damn, I'm old. So this no-brainer situation where every RAM manufacturer is like, instead of manufacturing RAM chips that are being utilized with stuff, what if I keep one line intact? Because again, you do have long-term order contract. You do not want to displease those corporate customers, but you're like, just, and make sure all the open market, all the capacity goes into HBM, high bandwidth memory. Yeah, that created a scenario where it's like fundamentally supply is being choked. And you're like, okay, what if they increase the factory? Yeah, most of those companies are smart enough. They know that this will not sustain. So they're like, yeah, switching, good. Creating new factories, yeah, that's a ticking boom device. Most will not do that. And again, even if they try to do that, it will still take time. Like it will take 3 to 5 years minimum. So fundamentally, the fact that foundries on a fundamental level, basically all the silicon that was being consumed by civilian market is being consumed by AI market. Yeah, you can't compete. Flat out, you can't compete. So is there a hope into this? Well, AI is a bubble. Everybody knows that. Everybody who knows anything about mathematics is like, yep, it is a bubble. Now, question has reached a point where it's no longer if, question is when. And money sunk is too much. Why is that? Well, here's the deal. You can open a company. Cool, awesome, GG. I'm a company, I'm opening this, cool, awesome. Here's the deal. You took $100 billion loan to make a data center. Cool, awesome. What can you do to return that $100 billion? I'm not talking about anything else, just that raw principal without interest. What can you actually do from that data center that could justify that? Any and all company that achieved that milestone, let's say Azure, Amazon Web Services, these took decades to reach that point, and they were doing something tangible. AI has not reached that point where they, oh, I'm going to replace your employees. Yeah, companies don't pay that much money to their employees. CEOs do, companies don't. But employees, like lol, employee payment is lol. To give you a context how horrifyingly bad it is, right now, if you look into companies like Apple and all that, so executive class, it's 800 to 500x than average salary payment of the worker class, so to say. You can't replace that with $100 billion equipment without interest. And be mindful, they all took interest. So yeah, fundamentally, there is no scenario where you can create profit in any reasonable amount of time. Can I see a company becoming valuable in long term? Of course. It happened. Dot-com bubble had that. But again, it took decades, not overnight. So, and if you take this much loan, yeah, you can never pay back the interest. And even if you're like, oh, it's stock market, yeah, it has consequences. Like, it has consequences. So when will this happen? Market collapse, so to say, which again, at this point in time, everybody knows it will happen. It's just that when. So you will notice it. You will notice it. When will you notice it? When the first major AI companies that are the big deals right now, they will fail to generate profit, not revenue, profit. Like, okay, you took this much out, cool, first one, because again, the early venture capitalists, they have already made their money. They are printing money, they are swimming in money, they're done. It's just that the second-hand buyers, now they're like, okay, I bought this stock, where's the profit? When that happens, then the system will start to fail. Basically, positive revenue generation failure would be the trigger point. How many years? Give or take 5 to 10 years, basically 2030s, so to say. It will happen. Again, how badly it will go kaboom, how much collateral damage will be there, those things are unknown, but it will happen. And at that point in time, there is tiny hope that if a lot of new manufacturing horsepower was introduced, they will reach a scenario where the worst thing a factory can do is not do anything. Even if you are selling something that is very low margin, it's better than turning them off. So at that point in time, companies will be forced to drop prices because otherwise they will have factories that they have to turn off, which again, they took loans for making that. So yeah, there would be a sweet spot. If things go just right, you will have excess manufacturing capability and basically too many foundries, too many manufacturing line, and there won't be any AI products to build on them. So they have to switch. Thankfully, hardware is common enough that it can be switched. Or heck, who knows, we randomly realize every computer now has HBM because companies are like, yeah, it's cheaper to just, keep copy pasting HBM rather than retooling the system again. So price drop, it could, and be mindful, it has happened in hundreds of times. Like there are countries that have fallen, be it Sri Lanka, be it Pakistan, be it housing market. Think it that way. Like housing, everybody used like, real estate is the safest, investment. Is like, if it's investment, it's not safe. Those two words cannot exist in the same reality. It could be slow, it could be low risk, but it has to be risky. Otherwise, there is no point. So housing, it's almost like, people are increasing house prices. Like, it's going to be $50 trillion. It's like, GG, nobody's going to buy it. Like there is a limit to how many Chinese billionaire who's going to buy like, apartment in New York. Even they have a limit. So, and again, 2008 housing crisis, 2000 dot-com bubble, we've been through this. This is not a new thing. We've been through this. It's always an input to output balance. As simple as that. We've been through this. So what can we expect in the future? This is where it becomes a bit dark. We had this exact simulation, so to say, or like, trial run in year 2011, if I remember it. Basically, Thailand had a flooding and a lot of factories got kaputted. Almost 25% of global hard disk drive capacity got kaputted. Here's the price went 2x overnight. Flood happened, boom, price went kaboom. Like I remember, like hard drive used to be something, I used to watch people making RAID arrays and it was like, hey, I'm going to build it someday. Yeah, after that, I'm like, yeah, unless like my engine company becomes a success, I'm not able to afford a RAID. So fundamentally, price went 2x. Here's the deal. All the factories, all the rebuilding and all that, they did it surprisingly quickly, which again, you would do that. If it's a money printing machine, you will make sure that it gets back onto the ground. There was insurance, there were bailouts and all that. There were a lot of things that was done to make sure these things get onto track. That happened long ago. They never reduced the price. They're like, hey, Customer is actually buying 2x the hardware price. Just keep that 2x price. Basically increase the profit margin and enjoy. So that taught company a very horrifying lesson, is that price gouging works. You can keep price gouging it, and customer has the inability to stop regardless. Meaning you can say this graphics card is 3 lakh rupees, or like almost cost of a second hand car, or even cheap first hand car. People will actually buy it. And that gave companies the green zone where it's like, hey dude, you are really brain dead. Let me exploit all your kidneys. So that created a scenario. Basically, if customer would have like, nope, the price would have fallen, but customer never did nope. And you're like, okay, but corporate had to die. Corporate is a different thing. Open market still matters, still affects things, because again, it affects perception far more directly than corporate players. So that the inability for customer to apply disc brake destroyed that market. That's why hard drive, even right now, it's expensive. And SSD never became cheap because they went into stupid race of like speed, more speed. I'm like, dude, just give me SATA 3. I'm fine. I'm buying hard disk drive. I'm fine with anything that is below 600 Mbps. Me good. Give me better random read and write, which again, just basically make 3.5-inch SSD running on SATA on same hardware. Do not try to make it latest and greatest NVMe. Like, I will have NVMe for my operating system. For bulk storage, just give that. But no, we need more speed. Like, we are talking about like 8 gigabytes per second read and write is now possible in SSDs. It's like, I get that for data center, not for common public. But it's like, no, your PCI 5.0 SSD has to have that. It's like, yeah, no. So fundamentally, the fact that people do not stop to buy that creates a, and again, second time this simulation happened was cryptocurrency shock, 2017. I was horrifyingly lucky. I bought GTX 1070 and I bought it. It was expensive. I bought it, and after a while, one of my friend bought it, which again, almost like 2 years after, and he paid the same price I did. Price never went down because this happened. Basically cryptocurrency first time. And that made sure the GPU price will never come down, because again, people kept buying it. So GPU price, once it went up, it never came down. So, and again, if customer will buy, like, you should see how stupid people were during the pandemic era. Again, that time I bought RTX 4070. People were paying, I'm not joking. I got 4070 Ti. People were paying for 40, I think, yeah, RTX 3050 or this sort of thing, lower end cards from what I have, more for that. It's like, what the hell? So that taught NVIDIA is like, dude, these people are dumb. They do not understand that you can live without GPU. You cannot live without food and other things. You can live without GPU, but like, they will keep increasing price. More people will buy. And they just realize it's like, if customer will buy it, why not sell, why sell at low margin? Like, why? Why not just enjoy the elevated profit? That's why graphics card price will never come down. Intel has to try that, because again, they do not have enough market penetration. But other than that, once they become big enough, they will also increase the price. They're like, dude, you guys are stupid enough. You're gonna buy like $1,000 just single item. Yeah. So at this point in time, if people will keep buying PC, which again, I can understand basically futility of this resistance. But again, I was lucky. You might not be. You were like, okay, I need to buy now. If you buy it, price will never fall down. I can guarantee you that. Meaning, in future, as in like 5 to 10 years from now, computer will be a luxurious item again. Meaning, only few people will have desktops. Basically, we went to the whole circle where everybody got desktop, nobody got desktop anymore. So, and that's the whole point. You will own nothing and be happy. Yeah, here's the deal. That part people genuinely don't get. Like, people who are in the steering wheel position, be it in the top government echelon or the top 1%er, they sometimes forget that they are not the civilization. They're just the steering wheel of it. So basically, what was mean? Basically, if you do too much of this, we had that. We had this in 1637. People lose faith and hope. Now, what does that mean? That simply means people will stop having kids. This whole pyramid of ultra wealthy can only exist if the base is stable. If there is no base, there is no rich people. Elon Musk kids are not gonna go and clean the toilet. And again, there was a reason when we had tiny population, even kings did not have luxurious life. They were like, oh, you got one cut, kaput. You had kids, kaput. You got this, polio, kaput. Again, you need population that is pushing to with hope. They need hope. Remove hope, kaput. So And again, it will fall apart. We have been through this in year 2000s, dot-com boom, 2008, housing brother, 1637, the tulip mania. It has happened again and again. So although I am very skeptical the price of equipment will ever come down, unless that production line was a much bigger deal than what I'm assuming. Because again, if people are used to buying things, it's like mobile phone prices, it went full cuckoo, man. Like full cuckoo. I can get that. Like if it's a tri-folding phone, it's actually unique. It's like actually mine is bigger than yours. But it's like for normal brick phone should not be that expensive. And it's not even changing anymore. It's like, I can guarantee you, like if I put two smartphones next to each other, even 2 or 3 years apart, good luck trying to tell a difference. So fundamentally, I'm far more burnt from this reality. Like again, this is real, this is happening, and it's still happening. So I'm a bit burnt. But again, I'm hopeful. I have to hope. So this was my presentation on basically the current scenario we are in and why the prices are gone up and the likelihood of coming down is so low. Hopefully you have liked it, learned from it. In that case, please click the like button, share it amongst a friend. That will help me a lot. If you didn't like it, didn't enjoy it, I urge you to press dislike, press it twice to show me extra disappointment. Please leave a comment because I do try to reply to all of them. Subscribe, press the bell icon if you're free, and as always, thanks for watching.